Hello, this is Lord Og. Yes, it is, and welcome to my, third part now, isn't it, to the Singer 2017 review. Okay, so life has given me a bit of a break, so I can record this, and so I'm going to get straight into it, get this done while I can. We'll do 3 again, and then the next episode I'll finish the rest off. So, well, what I've watched. I think I've still got a performance to watch that I was being told about. I'm going to do a video soon also explaining what I'm going to be doing next. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't have time to record it yet. But I will. I'll tell you a few things that I'm going to be doing, and that you'll see. Anyway, let's get into this. So, what came next? Daddy-Do. That's right. After Adagio came Daddy-Do. So, Daddy-Do was a very important song for Dimash. Not from a competition aspect, but from its purpose. It was a chance for him to bring Kazakh music to a huge audience, because the Chinese audience is massive. I mean, it always has been. It's one of the biggest markets there is. So he's bringing his homeland's music and introducing it to China. So it was a big deal. I think everything about this song was Dimash trying to do a little bit of an introduction to his homeland, as kind of in Dimash's way that if he was going to be famous, then he wanted to proudly bring his homeland along with him, which I think is a beautiful thing. I do. I think he had like the correct dress on for his homeland. Everything. He was playing the dombra, which he played excellently, and which again, a Kazakh instrument. There were Kazakh musicians on stage who were playing other Kazakh instruments and everything. So it's like it was all basically an introduction in many different levels, and he was so proud, and that's always good to see. But he still needs to deliver the song. Of course, because if it's not a very good song, then it's not a very good, it's not a very good introduction. So the song starts, and as I said, he was playing the dombra, and this yet again showed his versatility when it came to instruments, because he played that well. He played dombra excellently, just like he played the piano, quite close to that with Adagio. So it's like he was showing his versatility in instruments also, which was good. The lyrics to that song, because there is a story behind it, of course. It's another story-driven song, and the lyrics were beautiful but sad. But then again, I suppose that's expected from the story. You can look into the story. I'm not going to go into it here, but if you know the story, then you'd understand why they are beautiful but have that sadness running through them. The tune to this song, on the surface, is good. Nothing special, but a good tune. It wasn't like one that caught me instantly. I went, wow, that's, I mean, the kind of dombra playing he did at the start was really nice, and there was an instrumental part halfway through. That was really nice. But I'm just on about the normal flow of the song as he sang to it. Nothing special. I'd heard that kind of thing before, but it was still good. Although I think in all, the live musicians that, like I say, played the authentic Kazakh instruments, the Kazakh language, which naturally adds some really nice vocal effects, and then of course Dimash's excellent performance on top, it really actually elevated the song in a great way, and ultimately became a great introduction to his homeland, to China. And I think it did third, which is really good, because you bring in a song that they probably don't understand a word of it, and you gain third to China, to that audience that you're trying to hit. And then of course you've got the fame that you got from the start anyway with SOS, and since then. So it all builds up and it brings your homeland, into the forefront, which was great. Like I said, I think having the musicians on stage, and like I said, I like the language. The Kazakh language is really nice for adding little vocal effects into songs naturally, and I think that really helps as well. So yeah. Anyway, all in all, it was a great song, great introduction to his homeland, and all in all, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, so next after Daddy-Do, we had Daybreak. Now, yet again, this is another song driven by an underlying story. I think Dimash at this stage, to me, he was kind of establishing himself as a storyteller to some extent. He seemed to like to shine a light on these songs that were telling a story of something, something brave or an oppression or a sadness or something that needed a spotlight in his eyes. If he saw a story that kind of touched his heart, he wanted to bring it to the forefront and tell the story to everyone. And I think that's really nice, because a lot of people just ignore that and just think, what can this song do for me? What can this song do for me? Let me see if I can just find a song that's catchy that everybody will like. But Dimash, it's like if a song touches him because it's got a story behind it, then it's like he has to bring justice to it, or at least shine a spotlight on it. And I love that kind of attitude. So with this song, I was instantly hit with the beautiful and powerful instrumental. Loved it. It caught my attention instantly. I really like the sound just of the instrumental of this song. Of course, Dimash piles in strongly with his heavy breath lyric at the start, adding even more emotion in. The lyrics are beautiful, haunting, sad, but in some way hopeful. There was a lot to this song. It brought a lot. Dimash was in full flow. I think this song really got him, into his emotional bag, and at times like that, Dimash hits another level when he really gets into that emotion. Not him trying to put emotion on, like layering breath onto words. I'm on about actually hits him while he's singing it. That emotion gets in him. When that hits, he elevates. It's just how it is. And he brought everything to the table on this one. All of it. It was just hitting on all levels. And also, weirdly enough, I think later on when it really got into him, I've always felt like Dimash plans everything minutely, every vocal effect and everything, to try and get as much as he can out of the audience. But I felt with this that the emotion brought out an extra layer of truth to his performance. It's hard to truth. I just mean it's like it brought something. Not in the song, but in him. There was an extra layer of truth in his performance, in him, in how he delivered, and it elevated that song to even better heights than it would have normally, even with his skill. It just felt like the emotion took him to a different level, and then I saw an extra level of truth in him, and that were beautiful to see. There was nothing about this song that I would change. It just went exactly how it needed to go. And this song became an equal favourite with Adagio, and for quite a while I couldn't separate them. And it was only a performance from another concert that would finally separate them and give me a clear favourite of the two. But until then, these two ran neck and neck. Sometimes, depending which I felt like at the time. If I had a chance to listen to one song, sometimes it'd be Adagio, sometimes it'd be Daybreak, and it just switched between them. It was something special. Something special. Anyway, let's move on. I'm just thinking about it. It's just you're playing in my head the song, so it's like I just got distracted for a second. Okay, carry on. So next came All By Myself. So yet again, Dimash turned his talents to another English song, and yet again we saw progression in his English, which was good. It was stronger. You could hear it. The clarity was better. All in all ways, it picked up. His voice was light and haunting. I like that haunting voice because he has that. He likes to put that on, that effect. It's like a haunting kind of voice, and I really like it. And he uses it well. And I think that when you know a song well, then you tend to have expectations of how it should be performed. Well, I know this song well, and I had those expectations. And his mix of using that really powerful chest, that really powerful, strong and deep chest voice, and his beautifully controlled head voice just made this performance really special. Although, as usual, his mix for me was the standout star. It just stood out. Baritones and basses can sing as low as Dimash. Sopranos can sing as high as Dimash. But I don't know anyone that has that mix he has. I know no one that has that high mix with that kind of power, and it goes so high for a mixed voice. It is so rare. And every time he really blasts that out, wow. I'm just, that for me is when it's hard to, even I get speechless. When he blasts that mix out and he's really got that emotional bag going and he's really powering it, it's a joy to behold, to see that mix, because that to me is where he stands out the most. I mean, yeah, admittedly, there may be baritones and basses that can sing as deep as him, and sopranos that can sing as high as him, but there might not be anybody who can sing as low and as high as him, or very rare, or very few people, as in all packed into one person. But for me, whether somebody can sing as high and low as him at the same time, his mix just stands out. His mix is a standout star to me every time, and it always leaves me speechless. And in this, at the end, he brings out that mixed voice, and the song just catapults, it just elevates every time when he does that. And it was excellent, beautiful rendition of a song I already knew well, and that even though I had expectations, yet again, Dimash kind of blew way past my expectations, because once he started hitting with that mix, it just destroys everything that I could ever think. It destroys every expectation that I could ever have, I think. So, anyway, that's it for now. That's these three. Next time, I will be doing the rest of them. Now, I have got some time free now, thankfully, because I've been very busy. So I've got some time free now. So I should have the last ones done either tomorrow or the day after. If I don't, I give you permission to call me a failure. I give you permission to give me some grief, okay? Because I can tell you now, I have got free time. So I've got no excuses, unless a plane lands on the house, which, knock on wood, I hope it doesn't. But still, unless a plane lands on my house, I should have, I've got to have the next one up either tomorrow or the day after, okay? So if after a couple of days I haven't got the next one on, the finishing review, then you can give me a hard time. Although I think I have somebody tell me I got a performance I missed, like right at the very, very, very end, like a gala thing. And hopefully they've sent me a link. I asked them to. And I'll probably do that for you anyway. But I don't need to put that in necessarily into the review. I just want to kind of review the entries that he sang going through to the final result. So, you know, that's really what I want to do. But the gala at the end, I probably still will do that if I get the link for it. I think that's it. So, as I said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, then please click the like button. Of course, if you disagree with me, then please feel free. I would like to hear it. Put it in the comments. I have no problem with it. And I will get round to it eventually. I promise you I will get round to reading it eventually. And I don't mind having a chat about it. Just remember, we do stay respectful. Because we all mature here, so let's be mature. And otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. So, if you want to subscribe, you can click the subscribe button, press the bell. Don't know why they call it a bell. I keep talking about this, but I don't know why they call it a bell, because it just never rings. It's like you press it, and all it does is just tell you when I make more videos like this one. It's not going to ring. So why call it a bell? Anyway, I'm going to go. Bye for now.